Welcome back, guys, to day 7 of the dozen beers of Xmas 2020 with your friends Cameron and Josh from Turning Point. Hello again, Josh. Fancy seeing you here again.
I know, it's been a while.
You're wearing the same clothes as yesterday, so am I. Still in my penguin pajamas. But yeah, thanks for joining us again, guys. We hope you're enjoying the dozen beers of Xmas as much as we are. This is the most Josh and I have spoken to each other in person in quite some time. So, especially in a social level. But yeah, so day 7 and the first of 2 dark beers. So if you've done this properly, you should have a can of Hazard After Midnight in front of you. Now, up to you how you drink your beers, but we always recommend keep your beer in the fridge and let it warm up a little bit. You can either do that. What I like to do, not sure if that's the same thing as what Josh likes to do, I like to pour my beer out, drink a little bit of it cold, and then take like an hour to drink a dark beer so that I get to try all the different sort of flavour profiles as it warms up. But we're not going to do that today because, oh, hello, Kat. You're right, pal. But yes, so you will notice if we've done our jobs properly, the beer should be dark. Josh, that's a nice glass.
Very much. I'm gonna follow ceramic.
It is really, truly a beautiful thing. I'm going with my tried and tested Blind Jack's glass yet again. But yeah, so this is a mint chocolate chip ice cream stout. If you've been following what we've been doing for the last couple of years, you will have tried Chip Hazard, or you may have tried Chip Hazard, our mint chocolate ice cream pale ale, which we entered into the first Brewdog Collab Fest that we did in 2018. And that was a really fun experience. We were pretty nervous about how that beer would go down, but ultimately we won the Collab Fest that year and we're very happy about it. So we've made that beer again this year, and produced that in cans. And yeah, we thought a really good twist on that for this year's Collab Fest, depending on when you're watching this video, could have been like this week, last week, who knows? You may have tried it already if you haven't.
The 19th of November?
Yeah, the weekend of the 19th of November. But yeah, we worked with the guys from Brewdog York again on this one, and it's 5.7%, same as Chip Hazard, but we've started it up this time. And yeah, what do you think, Josh?
I really enjoy it. It's like for me, mint equals drinkability when done right. Like I think it makes things moreish. So when I had the mint chocolate chip pale in the summer, the amount of it I drank in the same time period was quite terrifying because of how easy it was to drink. And this is the same, but it's like winterized. A little bit warmer, a little bit more warming to it, like because it's a stout, but it's still got that sessionability and the refreshingness of the mint. So I just want more of it all the time.
That's good. And yeah, that's interesting. I mean, we've been sat on this beer for a couple of weeks already because we had to hold off to sell it before the Collab Fest event had passed. And when we tried it initially, really enjoyed the beer, but I didn't want to drink lots of it. Now that the temperature of my surroundings have dropped by approximately 8 degrees and it's cold and a bit frosty outside, I can't think of anything better than drinking 6 of these tonight.
Yeah, I've actually, it's one of the few beers in my house that I've got quite a few of as well. So I maybe.
Oh, well done. But yeah, part of the process of making this beer, something that we seem to thrust ourselves into quite often is taking the mint leaves off the stems, off the stalks, because you don't want it to taste like vegetables. You want it to taste like mint. So an essential part of the job, one that on our scale we're not able to mechanize. And so the first time we did this, I think I watched the entirety of the extended edition Lord of the Rings while sort of semi doing it. Like I had a whole day of mint leaf picking for the first time.
Really.
It was very therapeutic. Yeah. Not very good for your back, but yes, it's quite a labour intensive job. But with this brew, now that we're in Knaresborough, same for Chip Hazard that we brewed in the summer, we got the mint from a local nursery. I think they call it a nursery, don't they? And it was picked into the beer same day, so it was really fresh ingredients. And the chocolate comes from cacao nibs, the sweetness comes from the lactose, And that bitterness that you'd expect to find, I guess, in chocolatey, minty ice cream comes from all the different roasted malts that we put in there. Probably my favorite of the malts that we use in our dark beers is called Special B, which stands for Special Belgium, but produced in Germany. It's a delightful ingredient, and it sort of brings that sort of caramelized date sort of flavor to the party, which is pretty consistent through our dark beers. It's kind of concerned that might overpower the mint a little bit. If you make it too sweet, the mint might struggle. And though I think probably agree the mint in this beer is quite subtle. If you stop drinking it for more than a few seconds, just like breathe through your nose, it's definitely there. There's it's quite a strong flavour. There's a lot going on in this beer, and we work quite hard to get the mint to the front of the flavours, and it's just nestled in there quite subtly, but I think on balance it's
I think the
pretty
fact
damn
that
good.
I think the fact that it's quite restrained in its roastiness, this beer, like it's not too rich, it's not too roasty, so that allows the mint to come to the forefront alongside like the chocolatey flavors.
Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah, it's nice.
So for anyone that doesn't know, Collab Fest, which we've mentioned a couple of times in the video so far, is run by Brewdog. They've been doing it since 2016, I think. Maybe slightly earlier. I can't remember. I've been doing it since 2017. Cam's been doing it since 2018, so it's a couple of years before those things. But Collab Fest is where Brewdog allow their bars to pick local breweries to them to do collaborations with. And then all of those collaborations are released across all of the Brewdogs internationally now. I think there's like 81 bars or something involved this year. And so they have all the beers all the time over that weekend, so everyone can try all of those beers as much as possible and rate them. And then there is a champion at the end, which wins a prize from Brewdog. I think one year the prize was to brew the beer again at Brewdog, which Cam, you did for was that for Chip Hazard, I believe.
I don't think that was actually ever stated to be the prize, but because Fierce had done it the year before,
that was
and they didn't call us up to ask about it or say anything about it that we'd won. I rang them and was like, "Hello, hello, it's me."
Fair enough.
And
Yes, Fierce did Very Big Moose, which won in 2017, and they produced it at Brewdog in larger quantities. And then this year, I think the winner, who was a Hungarian brewery, was supposed
Mad
to
Scientist,
possibly, yeah, that would make sense. And they were supposed to be at the AGM and have their own bar there, but of course the AGM wasn't on because of COVID. But yeah, Collab Fest really good, benefits smaller breweries, allows them to collaborate with these Brewdog bars, try to do experimental beers. Brewdog purchases all the beer in advance of the event and then distributes it across all of their bars. So it's good for exposure for smaller breweries, and just allows people to experiment as well, because the beers, a lot of it's all sold in advance, so you get a lot of crazy styles. Some wonderful beers, some that don't hit the mark quite as well, but at least they're innovative.
100%. I dare say that now that Collab Fest has got so big, they involve so many breweries and bars that they've kind of stopped trying to advertise it as you will get to try all of them. But like last year, I think there were like 60 different beers. But if you're in London, I think it's the only place where you can realistically try them all over a weekend.
So last year you could try them all in Leeds, but only because both bars in Leeds, if you went to both of them, then you could try all of them. So you had to split your time between the two.
Yeah. Leeds, London, and possibly Manchester, because they've got a couple of bars there. I dare even say it may well have been possibly Edinburgh as well, with the 3 different bars they've got. But it's quite a task, and hopefully it should be a good thing. I'm not sure what the format is for how they're hosting Collab Fest this year. I know it's online and stuff, but I'm not sure if there's like an event aspect to it, or if it's just that they're posting the beers out. But whatever it is, we'll be there somehow.
Yeah, Sunshine Indoors was Turning Point's other collab fest beer from last year, from 2019. Mango and saffron donut ale. It's yeah, I
Traditional
want some more of
style.
that in my life.
Medicinal beer, like not in flavour, but in just look at it. It's just so good for you, wouldn't it? What a cocktail.
Based on a dessert from a restaurant in New York as well.
Yes, still on the menu. Needing to reopen. Yeah, no, I'm really, really enjoying drinking this. I was with the 12 beers that we're drinking today, I was not necessarily, I was like, oh, wasn't the one I was looking forward to the most, but I'd say of the beers we've tried so far this week, it's probably my favorite one so far.
Yeah, I'm really. I mean, I think it's nice that this is the first stout. So like we've been through a lot of beers that aren't stouts, and it's always nice to get a stout on the board. This is my favorite style, anyway. But yeah, I'm really happy with this beer. The way this beer turned out, I think the mint's really good balance to it, and like it's got enough going on at 5.7%. It's got a bit of body to it, a bit of strength to it, but it's not a ridiculous imperial stout, so I can have lots of it.
Definitely. Can and we will. But yeah, let us know what you think, guys. Please drop a question in the comments. I'll be really upset if we looking at this in 2 weeks' time, or whenever we put these videos out, and there are no comments. I'll be most upset. So please just let us know what you think. Give it a score out of 10. If you really didn't like it, let us know. If you loved it, then also let us know, and we'll definitely come back to you. So yeah, cheers, guys. We will catch you for day 8 tomorrow. Is it, Josh?
Cheers, day 8 tomorrow. Yes.
See you tomorrow, Josh. See you, everyone.
See you tomorrow.